I'm very enthusiastic about this symposium because it really delineates recent change in OCT technology.
And with the TowardPi, we were really surprised to see the vessel, whatever the size and the height of the PD.
When you do panorama, you see that this scheme is much larger than you'd see at the beginning.
This volume rendering is really helpful because sometimes this lesion can look like a melanoma, but it's something else.
We are almost there in substituting fluorescein angiography with this type of ultra-wide field OCT angiography.
TowardPi Medical's ophthalmic imaging is one of the hottest talking points in ophthalmology right now. But does their suite of whole eye solutions live up to the buzz? Speed, precision, and outcomes were on the menu at EURETINA 2025 Symposium when 4 global retinal specialists discussed TowardPi's BMizar and Souied OCT solutions and their clinical impact.
Thank you very much for coming to the TowardPi Symposium this afternoon. We are very proud to have developed the first 400,000 A scan per second speed OCT, which is 4 and 5 years ago. We are fortunate enough to enter the market of Europe from September last year, and it is time for us to report the application results from our latest technology.
This is conventional imaging, and it took us really quite a lot of time to also acquire these images. I show you a 3x3 scan with the new 400 Swept Source, and now the miracle is coming. Now we are elongate to the periphery. Isn't that cool? And now you see this peripheral lesion in this patient. I think it took us 10 seconds to acquire. For patient education, it's very well suited, so I could manage that he is following our prescribed therapies.
I will drive you through simple kind of health technology assessment when we had BMizar by TowardPi in our hands for a while. This is a patient with a peripheral toxo scar. You can understand, given the position of the scar, if you go for a central scan with the usual machine, 12 millimeters, you lose the lesion. But if you go for 24 millimeters, you can really appreciate where the lesion is, and you see how it behaves during OCT scanning, and you can easily appreciate the vitreous detachment. Another case of macroneovascularization, you can easily appreciate the difference in resolution. In terms of ease of use, you can see time per acquisition, some differences in favor of the BMizar, and in terms of ungradable or unfeasible low-quality images, some slight advantages eventually with the BMizar, at least in our experience.
Despite the high quality of image, to have a very short acquisition time for both macular and periphery wide field, I'm always fascinated by the delineation of the vessel. We can really draw the vessel on that without any artifact. So we can have different quantification. The first one is the vascular density analysis that is automatic. Here, the vascular density analysis of the deep vascular plexus, of the choroidal vascular plexus. So one of the limits of the OCT is the detection of the polyps. ICG is really the gold standard, but with this imaging we can see the polyps with a great definition of the polyps. And here we compare the fundus, the FA, and the wide field OCTA. It's non-invasive, it is acceptable by the patient.
You have the color photos, ICGs at the right, and with the confocal system, with the slabs, you see all details of the choroid, the choroid from the retina. This choroidal hemangioma, the bump shape of 3D image, and B scans shows you the mass of choroidal hemangioma. Vitreous is attached at the level of scar. This slab realized in 15 seconds, and B scan shows you vascular fibrosis on the temporal and inferior arcade of vessels. And this 3D image shows very well the fibrosis. So this multimodal imaging, not only OCTA, but you have wonderful B scans which shows everything about macula and vitreomacular traction. So in conclusion, we have even bigger, deeper and further, we see much larger. And I can say that our journey into the eye has just begun.
What type of diseases can be replaced by this ultra-wide field OCTA to replace FA? Which diseases do you think it might be the replacement?
It's very easy to image children, elderly people with that technology. Mostly children are forgotten by the standard OCT devices.
This wide field imaging, it also replaced for diabetic retinopathy, all ischemic condition.
OCTA is already replacing angiogram, fluorescein angiogram. The question in the future, do it same thing for ICG.
As regards AI on board of OCT machines, this is obviously the next step because you want to measure what you see very precisely.
These evaluations are great encouragement to our R&D teams. There will be more ophthalmic devices coming soon with top-end technologies and inventions.
TowardPi's BMizar SS OCT and Yaocape OCT are winning a global following for their innovative and economical approach to ophthalmic imaging. And at EURETINA 2025 in Paris, retinal thought leaders showed how TowardPi tech is making a difference in their clinic. Interested in joining them? Learn more at TowardPi.com.